This is Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show, and yes, this is the political and current affairs wing of the Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show. Oh, once again, I'm super excited. Let me welcome Omo Efe again. Welcome back, Omo.
You
welcome
make yourself
back.
to welcome or keep welcoming me for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna keep welcoming you at least for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Welcome you.
Of course.
Is a grand welcoming, right? Even though, yeah, you're welcome. Even though in the political scene and within the political space and the social space, we are seeing exits and comeback. I don't know, retainment or exit. We don't know what exactly is going on. Why am I saying this? We're saying this in retrospect of the Bayo Ojulari's resignation, and of course there is also the squabbles that's going on with the NNPCL-Funded projects. But just recently he has resurfaced, or he has surfaced at certain events, a public function and all of that. Well, we'll get down into all of that discourse, but let me introduce me. My name is Uduak Daniel.
And I am Omo Efe Semere. Together we are going to be looking at Bayo Ojulari's rumored resignation and of course the NNPCL-funded project. We would be joined by a political economist, communication expert and also consultant, a lead researcher and policy analyst, the person of Adefolari Olamilekan. Right. He will be joining us live via telephone. But very quickly, let's take a look at the background. Now, the recent resignation of Bayo Ojulari, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, has sparked intense debate and speculation about the circumstances surrounding his exit. Now, meanwhile, the Nigerian government has intervened in the political discontinuation of funding for road infrastructure projects on the tax credit scheme.
Right.
And this course aims to explore the intricacies of these developments and also examining the implications for transparency and accountability in Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Are we making headway, or we're just beating around circles?
Right.
Adefolari Olamilekan is live on the phone. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Right. Good morning to you, Omo and Daniel, and good morning to all of our listeners out there.
That's right. Good
and our viewers as well, because they can also watch us.
You're correct, actually. Right. Just in case you didn't know, though, we have an online stream platform. We have a television on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Sir, welcome aboard, Sir Adefolari, once again. Does feel good to hear your voice. I mean, Sir Adefolari, what do you make with of what's going on, with the NNPCL? There has been some back and forth going on, and even when we experienced a change in GCEO, talking about Bayo Ojulari, and there were high expectations as to, hey, what is he bringing on the table?
I recall very clearly that we just when he was inserted as the NNPCL boss. We had a conversation with Adefolari. I don't know if you recall, Mr. Adefolari, where you also analyzed, the prospects and what Nigerians should expect, under Bayo Ojulari as the NNPCL boss. But here we are.
Here we are.
Am I on now?
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The major thing we should we focus first on his rumoration, or should first analyze his 100 days in office so far?
Well,
we could start with the rumored resignation, then we'll talk about how well he's, fared in
100 days.
Yes, in 100 days.
On a very interesting topic and very dissected issues, particularly as it begins to bring out controversy around the Bayo Ojulari. But first thing foremost is that as a media person and as someone that is very critical about media news, I think I was one of the most few Nigerians who accepted his resignation. Get it? Because after checking through all the news that came out between Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I discovered there was no correlation of what we who are in the media could quickly say objective, analytical, critical about news report content, because there was all this conjunction and construction and reconstruction of a particular storyline that just want to put out something that people need to believe. And people like us who are in the media, who are very critical about news content, find it difficult to accept that this is really what is happening. But apart from that, the background story that's been given also show a picture that seemed to be more political. You get it? So that's why it was becoming so a little bit unprofessional, like someone like me in the broadcast journalist media, to quickly accept that kind of news content that comes from our sister media platform like newspaper as well as online platform. So I was so critical about the news. But even though it became so critical on my part, those particular news content, I also find a line of argument that show that it is something that we don't need to toy with. Particularly that went back as far as talking about money laundering. And the story behind the money laundering in NNPC dates back to the time of Bayo. If you remember the former Makindo, the former NNPC GMD, who had former Vice President Atiku, son-in-law, as a business ally. And he was using the guy to transact some deals in NNPC that till today nobody can point to that deal, whether it was concrete, whether it was finalized, whether it was done. So billions of naira, millions of dollars were transacted between late Bakindo, who was former NNPC GMD, and Bashir, who happened to be the son-in-law of former Vice President Atiku. So when Melekari came into the picture, he discovered some abnormality that was carried out by Bakindo. You know, Bakindo left NNPC, not that he was sacked. He got an appointment with and he served about 8 to 9 years as NNPC GMD. He get it under Buhari, then later under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So when he came into power in NNPC, he discovered that some unserious activities between Bakindo and Bashir that nobody can really point to the real project that was done with those millions of dollars. So he now cut off his relationship with Bashir, even though he didn't report in the SEC, but just cut off relationship. So about 9 years, Bashir was not having any link to NNPC. But when Bayo Ojulari came, but we could also report that Bayo Ojulari has been a friend to Bashir for a very long time, even though Bashir and Bayo Ojulari was working with Shell. But what brought Bayo Ojulari to limelight in the oil and gas sector was that he was the one that pioneered Renaissance Oil Capital to be able to take over a particular oil deal. If you remember the oil deal that Shell was having, that they spent over $22 billion to get that deal. It was Bashir Bayo Ojulari that lead that consulting firm, and that was why Renaissance Oil Capital made him their managing director, and that was the reason. And when they now discovered that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu seemed I want that in the right to take over NNPC GMD role, and that was how he was appointed. But the fact remains that he was a friend to Bashir, but Bashir has been known notorious to be carrying out some illegal transactions with NNPC under Bakindo, Bayo, who was former NNPC GMD, that Melekari cut him out of NNPC deal, NNPC project, that for 9 years nobody heard about Bashir because of his serious activity with Bayo.
Okay.
So because Ojulari is his friend, and we hope that Ojulari is his friend, is now in NNPC GMD, that deal can be restored. And that was what gave the genesis of the report that we read. And that was what gave the report that the presidency was not happy with him having to make friends with Bashir, who happened to be the son in Atiku. And we also record that Bashir is also his own in oil and gas sector. So the conference that they went for, Bashir also attended that conference. It was at that conference, if you recall, it was at that conference that NNPC GMD, Bayo Ojulari was talking about that the refinery could be up for sale. That was about mid-July last month. Before he now came back last week and said, no, they are not going to sell the refinery again. If you recall the news that came out that the NNPC is going to sell the refinery, it was at that conference that he attended, that Bashir, son-in-law of Atiku, also attended, that he made that statement. But when he came back, when they had their town hall meeting last week, Tuesday, in NNPC headquarters in Abuja, he said they have done all their review and they are no more selling the refinery as of now. Now talking about his 100 days in office, I think he has been able to bring stability to NNPC. He has shown forthright that everything needs to be done uprightly. Even though there was this rumor issue at the National Assembly where there is this amount of 210 billion naira that is 210 trillion naira that could not be accounted for.
Right.
It wasn't under him that money was, that issue came up. It was under Melekari, but because he's the current GMD, the National Assembly is now asking that he should give account of that money. Because Bayo Ojulari is just less than 3 months in that office. So those amount of money cannot be accounted accused cannot be put to him that he was one that spoiled those money or spent those money or laundered.
Okay, so the longer and short of your submission now, Mr. Adefolari, would be that Bayo is just caught in the web and he's more like the sacrificial lamb as we speak. Is that it?
That what will happen. That's what will happen if the government, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to go in line with the media report that has been put out, because for the presidency, everybody in the presidency, they are taking a cue look at his relationship with Bashir.
Okay.
Get it? And what Bashir have done, because the issue whereby people now say, okay, EFCC and the DSS asked him to resign, that never happened.
Okay.
That never happened at all. Rather, the reporters, the online newspaper that took that report were only lashing. If for those of us that are hybrid media person, you work in the newspaper, you work in TV, you know how to embed the report. So what they did was to embed a report of the former life of Bashir, having done some deals with NNPC under Bakindo Barrow, who happens to be the former NNPC, although the man is late now. But that was what they embellished and said that there are a lot of money that have been loaded under NNPC at this point in time, and that's why that happened when Bakindo was NNPC GMD.
Okay.
And because Military did not report those activities to NNPC, to EFCC, it now becomes something that media houses now to lash on and begin to put out as if it happened just under Bayo Ojulari. But we cannot separate that from being a friend of Bashir and Bashir being a business partner with late Bakindo Barrow, who happened to be the former GMD of NNPC, who have been laundering money via Bashir company out of NNPC. So we can't separate that.
Mr. Adefolari, the issues on ground, they're quite complex, one must say.
Right.
However, we also understand that Bayo Ojulari was at some point pressured by some sort of cabal to resign. How do we really pinpoint this cabal rather, and who these people are, in terms of, this and that actually, make up this cabal? And secondly, it appears that the corruption, going on within the NNPCL didn't just start today, and it doesn't look like it's a nut that will be able to crack even at the end of the day.
It's very interesting. I really love the question of who are the cabal. As far as I'm concerned, Tinubu is the cabal in the government. There's no cabal that you can mention that you don't mention President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's the cabal. So if Bayo Ojulari is being faced with the pressure to resign, which is a rumor, definitely it will come from President Tinubu himself, not because President Tinubu is the one that appointed him.
Right.
And one thing we also need to note currently is that President Tinubu will not appoint someone if he will not have the track record of what that person is doing. And if you see the way the current NNPC is constructed and reconstructed, any money that NNPC is making today, it goes through CBN. I hope you are following. Any money that NNPC today is going through CBN. And any money that NNPC is spending, it goes to even though they are autonomous, they are now companies that need, although because they have not gone to the capital market, we can't say they are fully fledged companies that people can buy. But what I'm trying to point out is every step that Bayo Ojulari is taking in NNPC is being guided by presidency. And the presidency is more or less like the Minister of Petroleum. And again, if you look at the caliber of people that was appointed into the NNPC current management board, you know that it's not a place that you can do business as usual. You get it? And that's what I'm trying to paint at this point in time. But on the other hand, talking about the cabal that I know in this current administration is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is the cabal. He's the beginning of the cabal, he's the middle of the cabal, and he's the end of the cabal. So it's not like Buhari time that we have people. No, Tinubu is the cabal of his government. You can't do anything outside him. Get it? That's what I understand. Then on the other aspect, we need to also explain to our viewer, our listener and viewer, is that the current NNPC today cannot make any money, or any money that is being made by our current NNPC goes to the CBN. And that's why I see that in recent time our reserve has been increasing. It's over $42 billion now. Actually, where is the money coming from? Majority of that money is coming from the oil sales. And just yesterday, there was a news about our oil production that hit over 1.6 1.8 million barrels per day.
Yeah.
And also yesterday, Bayo Ojulari was in a conference, even though virtually, he was in a conference. That's to show to you the GMD of NNPCL to speak.
Right. Do you think that this might be also some mind game being played? Oh, he's resigned, but he's still there. Is this having him work in the shadows just to, make things get rightly with the NNPCL, having looked into his track record and considering whom his principal is, the person who put him there to do a certain task? Because we saw as well the fact that Mr. President has waded into the growing concerns over the possible suggestion of funding for key road infrastructure projects being executed under the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited NNPCL tax credit scheme, but it seemingly has been silent on the Ojulari, controversy that's going on there. I mean, this decisive mood, quite a number of people are saying, is to avert disruptions, to allay stakeholders' fears. The president has also, issued firm directives to ensure continuity of the scheme and the timely release of payments to contractors. What do you think about this, especially when it is very pertinent with the discourse this morning?
Exactly. You know one thing, Daniel, I know maybe two of you there.
Yeah.
You know that if President Tinubu appoints you the new GMD of NNPC today and appoint Omefe as the secretary of the NNPC today, you know that people will still, the same people that are fighting Ojulari, they will come and fight you. You know why? Because there are a lot of shenanigans that have been happening in NNPC. People just go there to collect money for free.
But who are these people, now, Mr. Defolarin? I'm sorry to bother you. Who are these people?
So you want me to mention them?
Yeah, if you can, why
they
not?
are in group. They are official people that we know who are putting pressure on NNPC. There are non-official people that we also know who are also putting pressure on NNPC. Just take a few look at what happened during the Mele Kyari era. You see NGOs, civil society going up and down, doing protests, either for him or against him. What do you think those civil society are doing? They are extracting resources for him. The official ones that we know that normally put pressure on NNPC are the oil marketers,
Right.
the so-called oil companies, the so-called host community of oil company or oil facility. These are the official ones that normally put pressure. NNPC is not doing this. They are not recruiting our people. They are not giving us jobs. Oil company is doing this, and oil marketer will come and tell you that the NNPC should give them license to be importing.
When they put this pressure, monies leave the NNPC to them, or what? They benefit somehow?
Money leaves. There are two things that leave. Money leaves one, then favor also leaves.
Okay.
Talk of oil companies, oil marketers that will seek favor from NNPC, and when they discover they cannot get it officially, they begin to use blackmail. So at the end of the day, the government is pressurized. Let me give you one simple example. You know that there are pressure on the federal government of Nigeria to sell the four refineries.
Yeah.
We know Dangote is interested in one of them.
Yeah.
Other big oil people, giants, are interested. Why do you think they are pushing out, reports of negative about the refinery? Are the refineries not work again? The refineries are dead. Why do you think they are putting that? Because at the end of the day, they have to sell those refineries. They will do what? Some of them will send their stooges, their agents to go and buy or to go and negotiate. The same thing with people who are saying that the NNPC must go to the stock market today. NNPC must go and declare the stock market today. Because they know that once NNPC go to stock market, they will go and buy the shares. The same thing with CSO will be clamoring. And don't be surprised that in the next few weeks, you see NGOs raising a banner of support for Bayo Ojulari. You also see some NGOs coming out to say Bayo Ojulari to resign. I don't know. You have seen some of them online. That's how it comes. And that is pressure. That's why I say, if any of you, whether you, Daniel, or Omefe, is appointed as GMD of NNPC, these kind of people will still come out to put pressure, and you'll be shocked that even people who are your head, maybe you appoint one or two people up as your head, or maybe SA Media, you will never get okay, better, let's do this. Let us help them to pally up some things. All this kind of manner things happen. But for now, we can see that there is stability in the current NNPC. And Bayo Ojulari is not moved. That's why I didn't hear any statement from them, either from the presidency or from NNPC. But they are giving out positive reports. That's why you see that the man attended the conference yesterday, which shows that you see the GMD of NNPC as we speak right now.
Right. Okay, well, I think we should open the phone lines, get family members to be a part of this discourse already. You want to join this conversation? You want to ask your questions right there, as our wonderful guest. Mr. Adefolari is, joining in the discourse. You should get onto the phone lines 0907-53-0044. Stick to this number. This is the only number you should connect with now. 0907-353-0044. Right? And send a message to the WhatsApp portal number.
Right, and the WhatsApp portal number is 090970544 and 50. You can also join the conversation live on Facebook and YouTube at Eagles FM Abuja. Now, Mr. Adefolari, let me also, take us aback a little bit. Talking about the monies unaccounted for under Milikiari. Whose fault would that be in terms of agencies whose sole responsibility would be to monitor the movement, the inflow of cash from organizations or parastatals as sacrosanct as the NNPCL?
One of the greatest disadvantages we have had so far is that our money is laundered in Nigeria. Recently, I was doing a research paper on what is illicit financial flow in Nigeria. It's one of the research papers I'm just preparing to publish any moment from now. Illicit financial flow in Nigeria. And one of the discoveries that I was able to find was that illicit financial flow, especially from public servants or people running government agencies, doesn't just come out like that. How they get those money done or how they get those money loaded is through projects. They tie those money to projects and they use it to load money. Do you know why people are against the 722 billion to renovate airport in Lagos or to build a new airport site in Lagos? Do you know why people are angry against?
Why?
It's not because the airport is... Hello?
Yes, what with you?
Why?
Do you know why people are angry against it? Not that because that money is not good enough, but people are having a sentiment that part of that money could be used, could be launched away, could be a means of corruption. You get it? I don't know whether...
Yes, please.
So that's why people are angry. And so when you talk about the likes of NNPC, money missing, military, why they want to be blamed? The documents are prepared according to what to be done. But what will be done will not be done as expected.
Okay.
During military period, NNPC said they are going to have over 1,500 filling stations across Nigeria. Has anybody taken numbers of those 1,500 filling stations? But guess what? Money we have budgeted to build those 1,500 filling stations. The same NNPC also said they are going to build, gas stations across Nigeria. And money was budgeted for it. So by the time such money is budgeted for it, they release the sum that will go into private pockets immediately. Then they release the rest that will also be done to need to do those projects on their own. But at the end of the day, the document will show that money has been released. So when you now ask EFCC to go and investigate, EFCC will see the document, will see partly part of the project, they will not tell you that it is ongoing. Meanwhile, the money are escaping into private pockets. And that's why it's very, very difficult to find those money, except maybe you can trace it to their names or to their bank account. And these days, those guys don't put their money in account that will read their name, put it in names that will read their family. They put it in choice areas. They can even ask somebody to be doing stockbroking for them and use that money to buy shares. But they will not use their own real name and the rest of them. So that's what is happening. That's why it's very difficult for EFCC to do their work.
Let's put a peg to your thoughts. Take this call now.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. I'm Comrade Ikechukwu Nobet. I'm calling you from Abuja.
All right.
Right.
All right. Today's conversation is a very nice one. I think we have a lot of problem in NNPCL. Right from, I would say that is the headquarter of corruption in Nigeria. Right from when the company was a public company, now a private company. There are a lot of corruption cases there, and at the end of the day, to be swept into the carpet. I believe there is a smoke. There is no smoke without fire. The issue of the current man in charge of the NNPCL should be thoroughly investigated, because most of them, when they assume of the he will not be prosecuted or arrested. Time expect.
All right.
If the current GDM is hand wanting, he should leave the office. He should vacate the office. He's not the only person. See the case of Mele Kyari. Where's Mele Kyari today?
All right.
Mele Kyari is wasting Nigerians' money, more than trillions of dollars, and nobody is questioning him. Is it the kind of country we want to live? Is it the kind of country we dream of? It's time to call a spade.
Okay.
In fact, the guy in the studio, he's saying that civil society is being paid off. I'm part of the civil society. We are not. Nobody is giving us anything. In fact, we are mobilizing in our thousands to come to NNPC, to barricade NNPC, to call for whoever that is in hand is involved in this corruption, in this saga. He should vacate that office.
All right, comrade. Thank you so much for
Appreciate
sharing your thoughts with us.
Right. Okay. Well, Mr. Defolarin, you there?
I very well there. I really appreciate and appraise the idea, the thought of the comrade I just called.
Yeah.
When his comrade and his group of civil society are coming to anything to come and protest that whoever that is found guilty should be removed, another group of civil society will still come and say, Ojulari.
Are you there?
Are you there?
Hello? Okay.
All right.
I think this is what it is. This is Nigeria. Network plays its own tricks. All right. Well, we'll just take this time out, pay some bills. We'll be right back in a short bit. Keep in touch. Don't go away.
This is Nigeria, where every new day brings a fresh chance to dream bigger, push harder, and live confidently. But true confidence is more than hope. It's knowing that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, you're protected, empowered, and ready for the journey ahead. At Sanlam Alliance, we believe confidence isn't just for a few, it's the right of everyone. That's why we have come together, uniting the strength of a Pan-African giant and a global leader to give you the financial protection and solutions you need to succeed. Because when we come together, we protect more, we achieve more, and we all rise together. Sanlam and Alliance is now Sanlam Alliance. Sanlam Alliance. Live with confidence.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAT and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
Right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Eagles Outlook live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. And on the show this morning, we're looking at a very topical issue that bothers on Bayo Ojulari's resignation and NNPCL-funded project. We've been speaking with political economist Defolarin Olamilekon who's live via telephone. Mr. Defolarin, welcome back. We couldn't hear you earlier.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there are some concerns that we raised just before, while we were, off the microphone and all of that. Two basic ones is the fact that, okay, first of all, shouldn't there be a way of streamlining the CSOs? Because if you look at Mr. Defolarin, it's almost saturated within that space. CSOs here and there and everything. That's on the one part. And secondly, if Bayo Ojulari is indeed putting in the works and trying to see that things got rightly with the NNPC, and all of that, don't you think it's a case of being witch hunt? And if it is a case of being witch hunt, do you not also think that Mr. President will be aware of this and should indeed give a decisive or make a decisive move in ensuring that things are set aright? Can we say that these players who are trying to destabilize the NNPCL, are more powerful than Mr. President himself?
I said something earlier when we discussed this because I said one thing we cannot isolate from the current controversy is this. Bashir, the son-in-law of Atiku, is a friend of Bayo Ojulari. And Bashir, the son-in-law of Atiku, was also a friend to Bakindo Barrow, the former GMD of NNPC, who is late now. But there are some skeleton in their cupboard that shows that there was money laundering in NNPC that Bashir late Bakindo to carry it out. And what is playing out right now is because Bashir is also a friend to Bayo Ojulari. So many people are now relying on that relationship that happened before, whereby there was money laundering allegation against Bakindo and Bashir and Bakindo. They are now relating that same thing to what is happening right now between the friendship of Bashir and Bayo Ojulari, particularly because they attended the conference of oil and gas together some few weeks ago. So what is really playing out, as rightly pointed out, could be a witch hunt, but there is something we need to also understand in Nigeria. Because of lack of public trust on government officials, no matter how small you are as a government official, the moment the public have a perception, a sentiment about you when it comes to corruption, my brother, my sister, you can never escape. Even though the highest court of law in the whole world say you are not guilty of corruption, as far as Nigerians is concerned, because of that lack of public trust, they will never see you as uncorrupt individual. I don't know what I get. So, even though if President Tinubu remove Ojulari today and replace him with another person, that same person will still be seen with the eye of corruption. If you take a critical analysis of what the Comrade Accord was trying to say, it said NNPC has been a corrupt organization right from 1976 or 77 that it was created. And that is the eyes everybody is seeing NNPC. So even you, Daniel Anomefe, start working in NNPC today, the Nigerians who know you before will begin to see you are working in a very corrupt organization. So no matter how clean you have been, they will still see you with that perception. And that's what is happening to Bayo Ojulari. Even though we know that Bayo Ojulari doesn't have any corrupt cases of money laundering, but because he's a friend to someone who have carried that money laundering with the former GMD of NNPC, he is now being touted, being seen as a money laundering man and a corrupt person in NNPC. And that's what is happening. So even if I have my humble self is put in any government office today, Nigerians will never see me as a corrupt and as a clean man. They will see me as a corrupt person because they see every government institution as being managed and controlled by corrupt individuals. So,
right. Yeah, but there's a family member who's sending a message now. Says, so UD, well, it's coming from Abaz, reporting from Duce. He says, please ask Mr. Defolarin about the over $18 billion expended in the revamp of Nigerian refinery and nothing was done. How do we recover this money, or is the money gone? He's asking. Are you there?
I'm hearing you. I didn't hear you. No, I didn't hear you guys before.
So Abbas is asking and reporting from Duce. He says, a question should be posed to you about the 18 billion US dollars expended in the revamp of Nigerian refinery, and nothing was done. How do we recover these monies, or are these monies gone?
The issue is this: EFC is already on the tail of. I think there was a report that came out around April where a former deputy GMD of NNPC, they found 84 billion naira in his account. I know you must have read the report. EFC is already on the tail of every one of them. Even the military that we're talking about, military is under serious scrutiny by EFCC as we speak right now. And that's why you are not hearing anything from him. He's under serious scrutiny. Even all the former members of NNPC management that serve under military, all of them have been monitored, being watched as we speak right now. But the issue is this: how are we going to recover the money?
Yeah.
The one that the former GMD of NNPC, that man that said all the money that he got was given to him by gift. If you remember that Kaduna man, I can recall his name, Andrew Yakubu. Did we recover anything from Andrew Yakubu? Even though Yakubu told us that all the money, that the billions or millions of dollars that he was found in his house, in Kaduna, in his uncle's house, was a gift. Did we really recover from it? What I painted earlier is what I will still say now. In Nigeria, public trust is lacking. Even if the government recovered that 18 billion US dollar, Nigerians will never believe that money has been recovered. They will even say that money is even more than that. So it's very difficult to even paint a positive picture in the eyes of Nigeria. And just like what the comment was saying, it's people are suffering, particularly in Nigeria Delta people. But ask me, government has spent billions upon billions through NDDC, through intervention in Nigeria Delta. Upon that, the people are still poor. And you ask yourself, why are the people poor? Because people don't trust government officials, they don't trust government policy, as you say.
Okay. Mr. Defalarin, time is not our friend, but I think it's important that you answer this question, because earlier you said something about the media, painting a very negative picture about the viability of these refineries that we have. But I'd like to ask you, are the refineries really working?
Right.
As we speak right now, what the last report by Bayo Ojulari committee, they said they have done their review and they have discovered that there is light at the end of the tunnel. One of the refineries will definitely work. That's what they are saying. Then the other two, the Kaduna and the Warri, will also work. But the challenge they are having is that even though they have spent so much money, they lack the technical capacity to make it work. And one thing about what they have said so far is that they have bought new equipment to fix in those refineries. But the question I posed last week when I was having a discussion like this, one of our media platform, was that how can we still be searching for technical partners again when we said we have spent so much money, we have put so much money in this thing? So it also keeps me dumbfounded. But the key issue we continue to press is that we need our refinery to work. Now that they are saying they are no more selling, that should be the watchword. But they don't come back tomorrow and tell us they want to sell after spending so much money on it. Right. But the message they are giving us is that this refinery may work if we get the right technical partners to help us to manage it, to revive it, and also to make sure that all the necessary things around the refinery work. And that's what the message about Bayo Ojulari is pushing out there.
Right.
And that's what I can also push out from what I've heard him say, what I read from NNPC, and what I'm even seeing on their website, and what they're pushing out is that the refinery can work with the right technical partners, and they have spent some money to change so many, particularly the Port Harcourt one. They said it can work, and we just have to give them the benefit of doubt to make it work.
Okay. All right. We would like to share in that optimism, Mr. Defalarin, but time is not our friend, so we must leave the conversation here. Thank you so much for analyzing these issues this morning.
I'm so happy that you are bringing this discussion on the point, and I also want to encourage our media house, particularly our traditional media houses. I see the good report they are bringing about this, because the traditional media houses are doing objective reports and taking it in a way that we can understand it. Our online, let's be objective. Let's be objective. That's what I would just have to pass out at this point in time.
Thank you.
And thank you to Eagles FM 103 for,
2.3.
You are where?
102.3. Yes, 102.
Okay, 103.3 for giving us the opportunity to enlighten our citizens on some of these issues.
Right.
But the main thing that our citizens is having as a problem is that we all have that lack of trust on public officials, and that's why we cannot trust any information coming from government.
All right. Mr. Defalarin, we hope to have more conversations with you in the days to come.
Great.
All right. Thank you for talking.
Right. Well, monitoring and evaluation are core components of ensuring transparency and accountability in the management of, Nigeria's oil and gas resources. And we're just, keeping our fingers crossed to see what the government would do at this point in time to ensure that all of this controversy is dealt with, right? And the NNPCL would keep, thriving. My name is Omoife Peace Osemere, and
my name is Udwak Daniel. Don't worry, 10 o'clock we'll be right back here for a general open banter, but for now, we've got to go away.
Eagle